I want to say that I've updated the presentation grading. It's still worth 25 points, but what has changed is that timing is now worth 4 points. Before it was worth 2. And that just means that presentation time, the individual, not the whole presentation time, is 1 to 1.5 minutes. Also includes that you are submitting your file on time, and then your presentation runs smoothly, quick setup, smooth transitions, no preventable technical difficulties. I'll have this. I'm not using it on my laptop now because it seems to work kind of weird with my laptop, but it does work with the PC here. So you'll have a thing to use where you can, let me see, does it do this? It's not doing it now. But it does let you click, so you don't have to be here standing pressing the next slide button. Upcoming dates, week 14, it's presentations, and after we're done with presentations, I'll give some information about writing, some final details about writing the IMRD paper. Week 15, we're preparing for the final exam. And what is the final? Does anyone know what the final is?
Same as the midterm, WPA.
Okay, so it's almost the same as the midterm, but what's different about the midterm?
You don't know the article.
You don't know the article, so it's going to be a brand new article. You've never seen it before. So any other differences?
2 hours.
2 hours. So yeah, you get 2 hours. The final, your midterm, you got 75 minutes, so you get that extra time. So it's just like a WPA exam, because instead you get those 2 hours just like a WPA. You get a brand new article just like a WPA. You get asked questions, the same exact questions you could ask on the WPA. So try and remember your midterm and how you felt about that, because we're going to be switching gears and talking about the final exam, week 15. A note, I'm out of town. I leave the evening of May 9th. I come back on the 15th to give the final. So please keep that in mind with scheduling things. If you need to work with me or anything, please keep that in mind. May 14th by 11:59 p.m., turn in paper 3. And also turn out an outline that matches what you've written and the original outlines. So whatever you're writing right now, I want to see those, as well as a revised outline if what you've written before is different. So keep that in mind. So you have 2.5 weeks to write paper 3. Who thinks they can do that? 2.5 weeks. All right, one person. No one else?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, so 2.5 weeks. I hope with the outline it's got you kind of thinking and working towards that. Again, May 16th is the final. And some observations from the outlines I want to point out is a lot of people in the first 2 paragraphs, it sounded like what they were describing was the experiment, which is not the goal. The goal is actually to describe information you get from articles that will give you background information that your reader will need before they learn about your experiment. So it's almost like these 3 paragraphs are like your introduction paragraph, where you usually include something kind of interesting and then have your hypothesis, your thesis at the end. So that's in that 3rd paragraph. These 3 paragraphs are your long introduction paragraph. So make sure that what you're writing there is you have the articles in there so that you are showing where you get your information from. The methods, I saw some people that described the number of surveys that they individually collected and how they gathered those answers. And what you are supposed to be doing, make sure that you get information from your classmates. Where did you distribute your surveys? So you have all that diverse information, and I understand exactly where the answers are coming from. So describe the total number of surveys that everyone in your group gathered, and summarize when and where the surveys were collected. So just make sure you're doing that. And then I also want to look at this following hypothesis. So I hypothesize that social media is not a reliable news source, and I meant to animate this so you didn't see that. So why couldn't you use this as your hypothesis?
Because it's a group.
What's that?
It's a group.
It's a group? What do you mean?
It's a group hypothesis, not yours individual.
I mean, it could be, it's okay if everyone has the same hypothesis in your group. That's okay. The problem is that what this assumes is that you can ask students and get reliable information about yes, let me tell you where this accurate, that social media is accurate. It's okay to get their opinions about it, but you can't say, like, yes, I know where to get this. Like, I asked, like, if I were to say, hey guys, I asked my mom and she thinks social media is unreliable. Like, can you now put that in your paper? Amanda's mom says that social media is unreliable. Is that a reliable source? No, that's a terrible source. But there's going to be experts. So the thing is, you're pulling students. Students are not experts on news media, so they can't establish media trends. However, you can ask, I hypothesize that SDSU students do not see social media as a reliable news source. Something like that is totally fine, because you're asking about their opinions. So if you asked one student who actually is an expert, then, you know, that's an outlier, but probably not all the 100 plus students that you asked were experts. Any questions about that? All right, so make sure, like, I left some notes, but if you're like, oh shoot, that was my hypothesis, make sure you're revising it. And then, yeah, that was it. I've passed out a paper. I wanted to give you the rubric, but I wasn't quite done with it, and I didn't want to have to hand out a revised rubric. But there's information on the paper that I handed out about the deadlines and what you need to be thinking about, resources to use. Are there any questions? All right, if you need another few minutes, make sure you hand in your papers before you leave class. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Good luck on your presentations.